Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Ryan Badwani Zondoc, and I'm thrilled to be here today to discuss a groundbreaking technology that's transforming the way we approach patient education.
Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Amal Soins-Ondoc. So, Ryan, what got you interested in digital likeness technology?
As a doctor, you know how challenging it is to create quality patient education materials. Scripting, filming, editing videos, it's incredibly time-consuming, not to mention expensive with all the equipment, crews, and resources traditional video production requires. And then there's the headache of keeping that content updated as medical guidelines inevitably change over time. That's why I started looking into using AI for patient education.
That is definitely true. So, how did you get started with AI? What was the process?
AI lets you create personalized patient education videos using your voice and likeness without filming yourself. All I did was provide some training data to capture my voice and appearance. Then I approved some scripts. The AI then generated a digital version of me delivering that content.
Wow, that seems pretty easy. So, tell us, what are the main advantages you see after starting to use this technology?
While AI helps us save time and money, the real benefit is in the patient experience. Providing consistent, personalized patient education from a familiar face improves engagement and understanding. This drives patient satisfaction, loyalty, and retention. For practices, these avatars are a powerful differentiator. The experience attracts new patients and cements your innovative reputation.
Can we see an example of your OnDoc in action, educating your patients?
Absolutely. Here is a short example of multifidus dysfunction education. Large movement activities utilize the outermost superficial back muscles, called the erector spinae group, which are most often controlled with our conscious thought. Critical spine stabilization movement activities utilizes a deep, multi-layered muscle group called the multifidus muscle group in our lower back. This stabilization is automatic and is mostly controlled subconsciously. Neuromuscular control can become muted or inhibited due to injury. This causes our brain to send little or no signal to the muscles.
That was great, Ryan. Thank you for sharing. Now I think it's time for us to hand things back to the real Dr. Badwani to walk us all through the importance and the future of patient education.
So I wanted to thank everybody for joining us today, for all the colleagues on stage, and for ASIP to inviting me. We're talking about artificial intelligence and healthcare. And I want to pause for a second because the video you guys watched of me and Dr. Sohin, we never said any of those words. We actually never stood in front of a camera and recorded any of that content. So think about how powerful that is. It's about innovation in clinic operations and the patient experience. And this is what this technology is going to allow us to do today. So with that, we're going to get started. I have no disclosures. This is really a simple guidance of what I'm doing in my practice to enhance the experience for my patients. So what are we talking about today? Really the key agenda. I know we have limited time, so I'm going to kind of go through this as quick as we can. We all are facing the same problem. We have too many patients and not enough time. The number one complaint I get from my patients is that they want to see me, they want me to explain what's going on with them, especially because now more than ever before, we're no longer just pain doctors. We're not writing scripts. Yes, we are interventional pain doctors, we're doing injections, but it's evolving. We're actually doing more and more surgeries. And these are complicated procedures that require the doctor to talk to them. As good as my APPs are, they're facing the same challenges. So this is where the technology really comes in. Now, if you look at the research out there, there isn't really a lot that's been done. Some of the studies show that, yes, using multimedia platforms improve comprehension and satisfaction. And that's a big part of the patient experience. Other studies have shown that if you use this technology, it helps especially those patients that have a less educational skill set in understanding the complex procedures we offer. And then finally, this is a study done at a fertility clinic. And you're like, well, we're at a pain conference, why are we talking about a fertility clinic? Well, the reason is because these patients, much like the patients that are in our clinic, they require multiple touch points to get the treatment they need. They need to track their hormones, they need to come in multiple times, just like the pain scores that our patients have to keep. So again, the patients in this setting that were given access to multimedia platforms improved overall and had higher compliance. So again, these platforms helped our patients get the care they needed. But we're struggling, and this is where you guys in this room can help us and figure out a way to actually do research down this pathline. Because with this technology, we really don't know where we're headed. We need to figure out a way to actually improve compliance, to figure out a way to see if our treatments are working, and really track the algorithms as we go forward. So what is generative AI? This is why you guys are all here today, and it's really a branch of artificial intelligence that allows you to generate new content. Again, like the videos you guys saw, we never created any of these things. We simply just worked with the platform to generate our image. And it created all these patient-personalized videos. So what am I doing in my clinic? Well, in my clinic, we have about 60 plus videos that are available to us. And I never created a single one of these videos. One example, like you see the Meet Your Own Physician video there, anytime a text message is sent to my new patients, we also send a link to the video so that they can get accustomed to our style at our clinic, to get introduced to our practice setting, and move from there. In our setting, what we do is when the patient comes in, right when the MA has worked them up, prior to me stepping into the room, they get pre-selected videos that are accustomed to their condition. And these are videos that are guided by me. I'm the one actually speaking to them, or my avatar is. The patients really don't know the difference. And we've disclosed it to them with the disclosure at the bottom. But again, while they're in the room waiting in that downtime, instead of playing Candy Crush, they're actually learning about their problem. This makes the patient experience a lot more efficient. I no longer have to repeat the same story for the patient 25 times, draw it out on the whiteboard, and by the time the end of the day comes, I'm exhausted because I've repeated the same thing. I no longer have to do that. And at the same time, that experience is unique. It's unique and individualized to the patient, or so they think. But again, when the patient comes back for the follow-up, I typically don't see my follow-up patients. My PAs do. And when my PAs come in, we have a selected video that they can hand them out. And then patients often come and say, well, doc, this is a great thing. I'm interested in this, but my spouse is not here, or my loved one is not here. Or I want to talk to my primary care doctor before I get started on this treatment. And so now they can take that video home with them. And this allows us to remain engaged with our patients, and at the same time, our satisfaction scores are changing. It's showing that patients feel more engaged, but again, I can't replicate me, but I can try to duplicate it with an avatar. So how do we get started? How can you guys get involved? Because I think that this is the best thing we can do to improve the experience for our patients. Basically, all you need to do is just create a digital clone of yourself. It's your own physical likeness in your own voice. Again, remember, Dr. Sohan and I never actually said any of those words. It was the AI that generated all that content. Everything we do needs your approval to remain compliant. And then you implement it into your practice. And the thing is that, I think for our practice, the reason we are here today, we're sacrificing time away from our loved ones, away from the people we care about, and from our busy practices because we want to get something meaningful, bring it back, and really change the way we practice. So I think this is one way to do that. So with that, I'm going to leave you with this quote. Every human being knows that life is not without pain. For most of us, it's an inconvenience, a trial to be endured or avoided. But there are a select few who seek it out, who use it as a tool to create something so beautiful that it transcends this world and changes the human experience. And I think we're at the cusp of that. And I think with your help, together, we can shape our field forward. So thank you.